Bo adeshimamba ya mo bibia ajoemamakwa de moba no Nsroma Kaseɛbɔ so Cyrus TV Nsroma Kaseɛbɔ ensema yensa so no na braso si nkunja ne bekenkan ede emamo na se ende yo benim bosum ne de to so eduonu ba ko ende ye fie da boja ye ensebe no die sene ete no sene penefo bu be kan no sabi prekunam no yedi ne hyew eni nti yedi ne hyehye de a na ensema bedi Kaseɛbɔ no mu akotene yakasa anama hwebejafo akasa ede afa eyeboko osreni a ye Ninka edi free ninsa.
Ghana Revenue Authority for Edinsembi Ababetuja say enya ade se omo to transport emu.
Ya kwa santimantam no emu edum kumase eya dia market na eja ewo ho no eja tomu amanioma ahyegyerebe ewo. De ani etwemu
ewo mrahye bedwofie dia ensema ekoso nyensem ketwa kora enuti ni nyina no yebeka amamo ate.
Police say hina Ghana mampeni eyi no de nsembi atu eja yedini nyina no ebetu eja.
Ghana mampeni His Excellency John Dramani Mahama openino akasa ede afa boko ensensem no ehu. We ne sama hodro na editie na nimme semufo abomode aso no so ede amayen. Ne echafata se wote na wohu no eno enenenu mienu yesi nkunja wo ho a yaba bekenkan ede amamo. Yamfa na se no ema Apam Global Church. As a for the one was so ya cinema de Kaseɛbɔ ye de sobo e wo baby bia wo bia. Sena dani ye no ya wade bia ye mpaebɔ kese a ekoso e wo fidue mu ha. Na ya wade bia no so ye de mpaebɔ hyehye so e wo ha. Saso na communion service so e wo ho editidom. March busu media ne de to so eduonu enkron de eya de a ye de eye communion service no e be hyehye so editi baby bia wo bia no. Na wo de aka wo dada setena no ehonyampa eye memre da na de chinkosi ada no. Enkenya nsom ebekoso ewo fidue mu ha editi bebi bia wo bia no na wotwesi aba bepiebu ewo isa say first service and the second service. First service ne sha say 7 eda kwakopem 9 second service ne 9:30 eda kwakopem 11:30 so chem rescue point na tan kese de butuo ahoma obetu bia frem pedifo wo so 0249 669993 and 0540378282 na oni pedifo achiche enkomo agenkan Fordjour eme Nana ama Fordjour mene. Nana ya kechiri nua Sikapa.
Yenda ne ya ho nkomba ne ba nsabere bedo mosuko edi amamo.
Yenna wasese oje penie ema yetwa ye hu sima ebaye anse ne na menuane kasa no kan bibi afa ye communion service no ehu wankasa wani tua se ye communion service de eni enyefe de agrokra elunti bomode an efa wani etwemu ewo Apam fi Saturday ye da ye nimu ni ebesan so ababiemu no ye nyina ye behyiemu ewo Apam fi enti bomode an nefa wani etwemu ewo honom sade ebe ya obeje wa ya rehye na bibia aye kama ye ra ensem ni mu
afeji didem na yemfa ensem no ensobo ya de ensem no somo de na ye hyase film rahyebeja efie na eho na eyebo central rahyebeja ni ani owura Isaac Adongo opedi no eyade a obomode chechi eye NPP amanyoko ewo rahyebeja fie mechire edom kumano nini na elese ensem bebere wo edom kumano etu de bi na woka openi no echire mu asabi emfa kwam titiw ene wo bra na wo abemu wo kratumi no abro ni beka se power no na nsu no wo bomode fa kwan ahodro bia so se eto no ana taxes no wo de beba na nsu na kamesi wo yi firi wo wonte ase wo pese wo kire mu a ema ne kokoso he enu no openi no kire bu se to de bia ayo munja sane ayo mo ye no mo abemu no na nyoma bebre wo na mo pese mo ye efasa eto no eho.
We were in this country when a government refused to provide textbooks, but rather teaching our children Pasco. You go and buy past questions for our children. So we have a country where the government of the day was looking in all places for taxes. Every least excuse, they will impose a tax. They said there is Bola sitting at Nima, sanitation tax. They said there's a disease called COVID-19 tax. The people of Ghana are very lucky. By now, we have been hearing deportation from the United States levy in our country. The war of tariff, the tariff war, we have been hearing tariff levy because our economy is suffering from Donald Trump. But here, Ghanaians don't even know that there's a tariff war. Ghanaians don't even know that Ghanaians are being deported because we will not ask them to pay levies for the people that are being deported. And this is how we are going to run this economy and teach you so that next time.
Namu ena openi Isaac editu drase eyana eniwu na eyasa na esaso eyasefem ye wo Ghana ha ya ye mofra no yetimi ye be kire omade no na ya bomode a afa bibiti se pasco na instead of say ye be kire omo the right thing to do no na ya fa pasco edi kire omo ye mofra no ade e ba ne sa asefem pa ensem bi kan sem yi ena openi no editu dra.
We were in this country when a government refused to provide textbooks, but rather teaching our children PASCO. You go and buy past questions for our children. So chew, pass, and forget. Our children were learning past questions here. The minister is bringing interventions that will bring critical learning and critical training of the brains of our children. We are providing enough textbooks and not past questions. And you should be praising us for that. The people who capped the GET fund are today asking the minister who is uncapping it how much money he will make from the uncapping. You are not even ashamed. Who capped it? When you were having this red, gold, green in our secondary schools, and our children were lying and sleeping everywhere on the corridors, you were rather centralizing GET fund money and sending it to the government so you could construct a hole just behind here called the National Cathedral. You were taking the money from GET fund just so the president can fly a private jet. And we are making sure that those monies are spent properly, and you are questioning that also. But Mr. Speaker,
Fi ora Isaac Adongo ensebno ebona fe yemfa yeni enchemu enka ne mrashebejeni edema dome kwabenya ene ma mesara ajo safo ma me no akwa eye one of the radio stations no meche asempa ma wobra wototo eye ma me no ano ensembebre no na ma me de atu ejuase ye bekaye a ade na MPP abaye no se ne ye hwehwe ma me ajo safo ani ye hunu wo mrashebeje fie o ma me de betu ejuase sebe na ne bebi hu dodo no enu nti ena otu batade ko ho so okwa akohyedo na enso ma me ne kire mu se embre pa bi beba ode nsam no ne enti a otoche no hu free procedures awodro ni nyina ewo mrashebeje fie do ode ba batu eja ende sa akonya no aba onya abre kotene mu ewasempa no ensem ode atu eja nyina ede se ye hye levy electronic levy a eba ye ono no de no onjintum afei na wofo onjintum na safo odon enso enjintum esense ohun ne se bi mobrofo na echi esense be ko hu so bi toto kokko bi to nsuo na kakra ode benye bi die sene ne maame ne ba beti levy wo so a na te se entwe yie enu nti na ochinchen ne na se wo mrahye be de fie enu nti no so modo sa so bo no kro no nya de a ebe kan nde aka ne echina.
In the heat of the moment, oh, yenina krani muntu tudun krani. Na me ni susu se mpanyifo e wo se wo hunu ne de wo munim. E bia no mo susu se enhu hia se ye de sansem ne be den e betudwa. But ade ba ko a me regret ba ko I will never. Aye e-levy ye de bomb charge. E-levy. Oh, e-levy. Ban. Yentobo ana aban pese yenjiji nipa manfo a ewo Ghana se bia wo ye momo bank to online banking, that kind of nyama no electronic transactions ne baaye no anhyehyeye ne baaye no esoro ho no ye mu bi no ne yesusu se emmoa Ghana exactly so emmoa yen esan say me baby a me fi any baby a yetete me papa ofri grass and wako grace mu okay just ofri him and nyame aye no defo ene oba ye nso no ne ode atete yen ne asore no ginafo eye charity eye se eboa ehiafo ye boa onibiefo inyanka na sebe minua me se na me hu 11 ni se me nam kwan hu na me hunu on e to body ko fi brokeman che so hwe body ni nyina na egu ho no wo boa no ko enu 500 Ghana obi ne dwetre 100 na watoto a o se me maami wo ekura sendi sika akoma no okotena so no o sendi kakra na wanya na ne yatin na ensete we na na meni ma sorry mpanyimfo ne me papa mo so de matena sesa de amode ba no dodo no ebeko tia ni pasitene mo ahokire no beye mo enti munyan I was torn between my church and my political party.
Wasansem na mu ena maame Adwoa Safosara odi zemfoforo etudwa ensema ye maame kan ya ne se enye fedi agropa wono ankasa ne party members eyawdi o mama na femu pa anya yawdi ketwa enuti ne ebre no na wono ankasa wo twentwen na ho asesenka ebre pamu no obekasa enuntu no free se osusu se wodwen se ebre na ani chese se de ne party members no oyaw ni abenne pa wo mode na femu no okasa bo ka ade abechiasa maame etrense mu sei
bia ntenwohwe kopem so ye ne ho kire ye bibia ye ne boto ne yam ene ye ma ne bai we make sure say any speaker engaging them adena edru obi die so dia leadership ebitimi koto airtime ye ni natem hwe wonim edru ba bi wo parliament ye wo rule bi wo ho any practice acquire custom ade wo ya na eto aso a obi di deputy leader penya leaders na chipe na wo so otena wo de maka hwe baby harunate sure hwe baby amutakate ye yi me unu baby ade mo kotena they put me at the back bencher after I failed my parliament for general secretary na bisa no it me bow down no there was a bill and I was say ye parliament ye pass and no buy na say general where me your benti na mo ye me sa if you want me to go and vote on that bill Munfa me need ma me say me former leader. Na munfa me seat in Kotina baby eti. Ubisa we anya me na me ye seat o. The majority whip, he is responsible for seating arrangements. Into we nim say deputy leader and na deputy whip. Omo yi me no mo da omo kwa. Enti na me kasa mrepa mu no me kasa na me kasa mo pa mo frɛ no. Sasem a me kan me boa.
Sansam no a ebuno ade a yinya na ntie se NPP amanyokodo e de nkrata ba bontere se wo tonsa e de afrema mesara Adwoa Safose nsam na obi ebiusu se bia no odin ene ti wo behia no wo mpedifo enim yentra yensabedo so de yenko eye nhia yeso no ahwebedwedi ene Dr. Stephen Amoa opedi no kopiebu ewo eya na Nsroma Jumedi ekoso ewo UTV na wo bre kopie so do esamchofo toto na no no na nsam odi tu eja ede se ade odi tu eja wo mra hwebedwe fie eye ndrada se ewo se NDC amanyuko na dom kase na ewo ho no obomode no wotu wona se di free wetan se won kasa no doso dodo se bi wo dom bebre na nso agye no se bi ebi nim ene nti obesere se wo ye kuma no se bi wo kasa edudu dwam edi tido nka wonyi ndi enfemfiri ho na no no kopie mu odwumedie no asodi tu eja se politics wan keke bia hyehyehye mo afa bibia join enko ye enyefe enyede ene nti no kokasa no the spices edi wo no ene nti na ma no kokasa ansem na nini na no wo ye fine wo hia wo kasa ene nti no wo mfa nche.
Honestly, me fa no me can try gross. Okay. Me know me you're fine. Okay. Now how can you dissolve such a big political fraternity? Now this is Gua. And the MPP I one party state. Ghana I one party state. And this will be ampe. Okay. But what I say, oh Kotoko crime maybe a Kotoko supporter. But me pet that's a house of folk be call relegation. Okay. And then I want dog Ghana. Cause has a call relegation. There won't be a new football be boa Ghana kese. Kotoko kwa men kase address ne nya kese. But we mo create gene anim so MPP and DC e mu bi e be gu bia no. You be one party state for a long time. E be say o man. Inti ane
Was ansem na mu ena Dr. Steven odi etu edwa say MPP any NDC omu nyina no they are responsible quote in quote or say NDC and MPP both are responsible for taxpayers enuntini ye bebo modi ane akotie ensema wodi tudwa na maybe sa ekura eya tax yanje tax no ekuru no be there survive etu de embo modi ana yentie ensem ni nwe yewi a ebe bobo mu kakra
se Ghana for ka se omuni anya adwene ye je to dodo a meni omu ya adwene efiri se mesra kan enyi nipa dodo ni nyina na tesa ade na se na me a mete the friend fiscal space kwan a anamo aban tu eye ni nyuma ye na nhyehyeye ba bi obenya sika ewo ho sika eni ho de nti eso obobosia de nti ogi tax me a mete ase de meka da bi ye adwuma ni ye na de tie ne se ye o mema on adwuma wo ye ne kama me o de metra me ntimi nye je problem o Ghana ne se especially mon sanchirofo ni bi ma free ekra no mo ka se bibi e pon e beka bia mo ntie hwe tax calibrated in nature you can't calibrate in terms of net policy management it is ought to be doctor bitu ma hwe oni mamu o da bia ne di kwadu bebre ebedun be so ba so me ni kwadu bebre adoso mo system if you be fiscal space here oh aban ana o man no enyum egu enim doso eka ye de doso ehie sika ye we ni we ye sika bi a wuhi a eyemra statutory ebi so discretionary is oh and then me the 1 cedi be kwa chan 10 cedis but we dey o hye se me de kwa ha sika we etu hwe san ni mani nyina e say afi de wo boka dodo wo bobosia dodo the only way bit me free sa de enum say one obe cut down our expenditure usika we use no eno so ntimi nkate ni nyina da amakuro ni ngu enti eso ajeje to more than over bobosia if you study that space na ama o 2017 na na do buy no eto maako be du mienu okopem be du nso oyi idas we ya na oteso condom
Ebe frisa elsebino esona fe de ni achemu ewodoma central mrashebejeni awoho ene honwabo eye John Kwame Edu Jack na opedino akasa ede afa eye wondumedia wodu edi na openino echiremu a wo Ghana ye import awodro ye kraniema ede beba ho no a niam bi enkoso yie kura eno nti ebe hu behia se Ghana ban His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ne na ban obubu modendo nyoma tutu yie sene no ebe 24-hour economy awode ebadu senyankopon epe na bi ebeso wonso a wobeso sanka sabre nanko na sankra niomem na nioma so hu ayen han na nioma so atototo yie sene ebeboa ama eyegedie hu nsab no echibi afade ntimapa no efra.
I know 24-hour economy is a groundbreaking policy which will help this economy so much. However, the presenter made mention of a single window, which will be a tool for the purposes of exporting the products that we will have here to the overseas market. We have a teething problem at the ports, especially the single window, which is currently being operated by Acoms as a freight forwarder. That is one of the major problems when it comes to delays at the ports, which I think will hinder the progress and the activity of the 24-hour economy, because I know it is hinging on export. What are we going to do, or what will we do to be able to change the dynamics now at the
Abusia yediani tremu ewo Ghana Private Road Transfer Union etwanitia ekano GPRTU for asye Openi Abbas Moro Ibrahim ede ensimbi abetudwa nanu no ebeto dwa se eye transport no yabomodia atutumu ono ena odi ensimbi ebetu dwa se meche Ibrahim na asema woka nyina ne se de bida yemfiti preko pe enkase yatoto lorry femu eba ewo se efa the right channel mu e was say e kono pepe ansana wa fiti preko pe ato transport mu na ampo say omobeto transport mu kra na e was say omone transport minister ebomodea esi nkonwa na eto adwen na ese na efata say yeto transport mu a yetumu yebetum na de ensem Ghana for keka say yeto transport mu no enye no kre
yato lorry fare mu. It's just unfortunate say onipa baako be sorry because our car baako ana mienu nti obeba bontan be ka say me matumi lorry fare mu ya ye dwuma ya fi baba ho afi bebre enye sa na dwuma no ti ya wo transport unions ahohoro bebre emre bia ebeto lorry fare mu enye GPRT obe na to lorry fare mu je wo Ghana Road Transport Coordinating Council omo represent transport unions nketen nyina GPRT yenso ye kitaye ho se emesu se ebeto lorry fare mu adenti na ebeto mu niama asisa exaya njran so ensisa lorry fare je hwa ni nyina na aboabo anu. Now the transport minister transit, but we are saying say nobody should pay any new lorry fare from now unless say the right thing has been done. I ababontin abe publish sell and that say yeah to lorry fare mo and to be a yen share na munya onboa na eda no do a montua sa fare na until yes no for now no dey mo be lorry fare for
adeba ko say those guys no ma bisa ba bi omo wo lorry stage be no mo free terminals be no mo ye de omo ye adwuma wo question si bi so omo no
yankonko piemu ewo mrashebeja efie kohodia na bokon bosumi mu yesi bosumi match no emu no bokon sembi ebobo ho a esewini ense okachire MPP aban wo bra no wo wosoro ene efrase ni nyina ya menteme ho ase sabi eda ahemfo na nanom atena nkonja ensase ni ntini ho hyew awodre peja ne mu eso ewo ho eno na nam soma sabi unam won wan hye hu ya na ye je wo krade efiri wo nsam o ye hye na wafa ni pamba ye twaja adi na mo hye omo emfa ho enu ntino ade abosumi su yesi mu ana afia yesi me busumi ya mu no wono age eye osreni a ono so akwa boban ewo boko no temamufo ni bi age ne kra adi efiri ni nsem eno na eye boko central marsh bejedi ora mahama ayare ga no asanso ye dom kese na no ban ni deni esori gina ye wo marsh bejefie ni nsem ode atu edwina ne se ode yakwa emu supa edema eye osreni ebusuafo na afeino sani asrafo no wo nipa ba kwa waje ne krefri di semti wonso wodi tumi ahye wonsa na wana boera boko na wodi eye timamufo ne mpambro no ayade a enche yie nti obefasa ekwan ne so na wato apete de asre eye asrafo de se wo ewom se ya ne nso no wonso musa
matter of urgent public importance relating to my constituency. Mr. Speaker, 2 days ago, an unknown gunman shot and killed a soldier who was not in uniform, and yesterday in the evening, the military detachment in Boku and its environs, there's also a detachment in Benduri, undertook an exercise of ransacking almost every house that they came across, beating up everybody, men, women, children, old men, old women who could not flee.
Abusia wabako nsensem na emu ena Ghana mampeni ede ensem bi atoja openi ne nsem waka nyina ne se ya mum enunti no oma kofo a eye o sojani a yaje ne car efri ne nsem no oma ne busuanfo nyina hyeden opanini ejina simpie so esanso de nsem foforo etudwa opanini asema woka nyina ne se enkos enise eba ne saa esanse eye asogers fo a ya omukoboko no esese omukobọ ban enti enise womukọ na omukoko hwere womunkwa eba ne saa entwa yie kra
to condemn the killing of a member of the Ghana Army recently in Boko. The members of the Ghana Armed Forces in the conflict zone are peacekeepers who have been sent there to protect life, limb, and property. It is unacceptable for them to become targets of a conflict to which they are not a party to. I, in the same vein, wish to condemn the high-handed response of our men in uniform, which resulted in assaults and injury of many innocent civilians. I can understand the righteous anger at the loss of a colleague serviceman, but we must exercise restraint and use effective intelligence gathering to identify and bring the culprits to book. I wish on this occasion to extend my condolence to the family of the deceased soldier and at the same time to extend my sympathies to all those who were assaulted or injured in the military counteraction. The progress of our nation depends on the shared effort of all its people towards a common purpose and a collective vision for prosperity. The Upper East region, like every other part of Ghana, deserves its fair share of development, not as a favor, but as my government's actionable commitment to equitable investment in infrastructure.
Make us say the so embretiwa in some near canon and also your bar, yet in some near canina ebesom.
Have you commanded your morning? Say the Bidia and your trone say, Jambon Paya Brian Brem, Apam Global Church, a dream hunting on Mashisha and Pibodin din Jumedia, a friend of Miracle Hour, Nasa Jumedia is Onyankopon D for Prophet Emmanuel Frimpon, and a bedi Nimi about and Pibodin din. Na ye win so a we share in so their mind. Said that Tron Kama Yatia says, and Pibonetino, we be basic. Ampa, Onyaminam need 2 meaning and more than so a year in Century Akese, and what you made days. Anti Kayan, a free a drada could see Memneda, a bra about 9:30 a.m. It was Cyrus TV, so Ubetimia joining and so on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Miracle Hour Apam. So we want church, Mubia, and now dance day being swap. Friend number 0548 057.
So dear na ye call a Edom Kumano. Wado afre sebchofo ehyiemu nsembɛn no wono ade atu eja ina ntia se enka ne o mindful to some for Dr. Addison ade a NIB mpenifo abomodin ni asrafo akọ opedino atenaye akọ inhyehyem ahodro bebre no a wo kyerema CCTV kura na ebobobo hodin na no wodo eyiyi ebinmu wona sɛ no ɛna ne won sɛ no so wode akọ wona ka kyese wo kwakọ nhyehyemu ne ebetodwe bia wo mu no obesanso ede CCTV cameras no ede aba na no ɛna Edom Kuma no efra nsemchofo ehyiemu wo kyeremu sɛ enyama national security mpenimfo akọ say National Investigations Bureau and National Security Penimphobia Nasraphobia Kwakoyedo enter ye kra opedido echremwa wobra wo Dr. Addison efieno sikatuturi dia na edaho wono etebiri sika no na afei akomadia ne bo eso papa ye na wono afa enunti na impedifo echremu say enyomo we kwa na ekoso wodi nkan ye rakan oforiata bi na wasanso de akopedi no eso wonu nipa otra so baba ya miensa eninti wosrese impedifo ntia sa ensab no emu.
The minority caucus is here to express its concerns about the growing lawless conduct of our national security operatives who the government has unleashed on opponents, particularly the MPP appointees of former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. We've heard of some raids, and in some cases, these so-called security operatives rob these officials when they are leaving their premises. They force their way, overpower the security, and enter these premises. This Rambo-style approach must cease. This is the first time in the history of our country that a governor of a central bank is being subjected to such a treatment. Unfortunately for the governor, some 10,000 cedis on his bed.
Wasansem na mu na openi Nsroma Kaseɛbɔ edit to dwase Ghana mampeni emomode ha no mfa ne nan ensi fam esanse ne ekoso ewo Ghana mu hanum sei no enye se omo sori fidi prekope na ne omabo awura we fie no makwa skata nema no makwa hanum sei no makwa sese nema eba ne sa entwaye enti wakwa ye ne odi kanka se wo father of all nation no oye Abraham otoso mienu no omomode ha na onja edimpa ne wiase no edimpa ayesene ahunya ensem mienu miensen ena openi no ekaye de twa Ghana mampeni.
This vicious cycle of using power to intimidate must cease. I conclude by calling on President John Dramani Mahama. We know him as a moderate politician, respected politician. He served his country, had a first term, lost elections. The Ghanaian people have given him another mandate to do his final term, which is a constitutional power mandate given him. He should leave a legacy. Your Excellency, President John Dramani Mahama, please leave a legacy. Let it be said that even if there were excesses in the exercise of executive power, when you had the opportunity, you change it for good and own that legacy in your name, Your Excellency.
Yemfree Ora Alexander Kwamena Nsroma Kaseɛbɔ China fe yenko eye police ejimekodu emu anawono atena here. Ene nim se eyade Ghana mampeni His Excellency Ora John Dramani Mahama abomode apaw IGP fufuro no ene COP Christian tatayu no. Na openi opaw no we frase na wochimienu krembai. We frase ebo adwuma yie pa. Endra de betu ejase we sheki eya aposi ejimekodu emu. Saaso na ende ogina simpie so wo bra na won public relation officers wonjumedie bi ekoso ye workshop ena na ekoso ma opedino edi isembi etu eja wobra ogina simpie soro nensema opedino edi tu eja enese enkane police sahene Dr. George Kufudampa odi tabono eto so se ensem trofo se bisebiribisi na aposifo nya entiye wo ho na woboye mu a won samfa update ma okoko jesu na adane buachi bidin eno enenam so ema openi no ekyerem se saa tabono enumonu ya wo ba beyi ade afidi ho sane ebeboa ma eye nkitahudie a ekoso wonsem trofo social media ne nyoma ahodrodo etumi efane ntemapa no efura esanse ono ena sisi an wo ba be IGP foforo edinti sebi ode kwan betu bebi a ekwan dance nya ekaifo no etumi edisa na montuodo eso sane ebeboa ama police ejumekuo no ne atena ye de nyoma
positive step in our collective efforts to revamp and strengthen the public affairs arm of the Ghana Police Service. As we respond to the evolving demands of the citizenry and public expectation, it is critical that our communication outfit remains robust, transparent, and effective. As our communities evolve, so must our approaches to law enforcement ensuring we are always responsive to maintain peace, security, and order. We acknowledge that no society can effectively combat crime without the trust and collaboration of its people. This is why effective policing is a partnership, one that requires officers to work closely with the communities they serve to foster a safer and crime-free environment. I must also emphasize that this collaboration extends beyond crime fighting. It involves the development of robust interpersonal skills, requiring constant reassessment of our police public relations frameworks to adapt to changing circumstances. In times when the public demands greater involvement and accountability in our service delivery, a well-tested approach ensures police.
Abusia ye twaso dia na openia o share Ghana education eso e de ensembi ababetuja openi ni sema waka nyina ene say free education policy no free SHS policy no e da Ghana mampeni akoma so yie pa enu nti no obefa kwan bia Ghana mampeni ahyebo se obefa kwan bia ese kwan bia so ama sa adwumade ni nyina no aba na wie ye kama.
We had over 5,000 stakeholders participate in it, and they have raised critical questions. Some of the findings and recommendations of the Education Committee, Mr. Speaker, I'll bring back to this August House. For instance, free senior high school. Why must every student pass? You have a system where you do educational assessment, maybe you have aggregate 25, you have aggregate 30, you have aggregate 35. It makes no distinction as to respecting assessment. Everybody passes. The train is on, and the train is on so long as you are entering free senior high school. So stakeholders have raised the question of what our colleagues in government did was to expand the definition of free compulsory universal basic education to include free senior high school. That is your new definition of it. Go to the Constitution. The Constitution defines free compulsory universal basic education. And Mr. Speaker, universally, everywhere in the world, basic education is preschool, kindergarten to primary school to junior high school. Only Ghana had the novelty. Yes, it has an advantage. You are producing a literate population. But questions have been asked whether we should not establish.
Court Control Commission wodo aye hwehwebu ebi wochirebu say abrante ba kwa ono edi eye ndruboni hu ja wana hwehwe abrante ya chepa na wo hu abrante anche ena obi bema won tip off ene wo bo mode ekoho kwaye nhwehwebu na nipa no Nigeria man no emu ena ofiri ena waba bepie mu ewo nkrampomponi mantam ha emu na oyarefa ena sabi odi ne nkwe ewo ena nhwehwemu awododo eda na di se abrante ofiri Nigeria di ojeso wo Ghana ha ana edi oyu odidi djuma wo Nigeria man no emu na ode aba Ghana ha ene okechiku chima na abrante no enya emfi no edrenum ensia 56 ena odi ndruboni hu eja eni nti no March boso le de tosu edu enwoche ena wo bomode nkoso abrante epa echi no wokoye wo hye eye mfoni na net se ndruboni nko a ena egu na nimu a wo hya wo keli na se keji de dos ye papa eno ena eye na Court Control Commission mpeni force se wo hye ewo ye sikemu ene abrochi sikemu a aye 2.1 million US dollars na eno na wo chobu se sanya ndruboni ni na wona tume table no eno be boa masebe wo embebo wo ngonto no so no ndruboni no wo be jai
Semni mudia na yediani echwemu ewo ye Deputy CEO of Ghana Tourism Authority Abeku Agri Santana openi ene dasa adwumede no ano okopiemu ewo dwumede bi ase a wode ensem bi etodwa se leadership by example said the Ghana mampeni eye no na ni je ho pa na ni nyina ene se ewo se ye declare asset and sana fa oniema nyina ebekere and sana bia position bia de ma ye dia ma no Ghana mampeni ade wo ye na ni je pa enkoba se e bia na wo amfa wo niema mekere na akoba ne se debi obi abebe kasa ne wo ba aban mu na wakokonya niema sei debi on penisa eno nti de Ghana man pani e de aba no nani agye ho pa na eno so se wamfa wo niema no wambe declare asset na punishment e wo ho no ma e wo se Ghana man pani e de wo efa so
ne appointees warning didi kai say oma obi a deadline as say you declare your asset the me bigina say me kire ejapade a mewo nyina na me de koma auditor general na omo gitum say de ochina bi no ye nhwemu a anka say oba aban mu na obewi a niema na be pay ejapade ono mampani na dikan etusa na mo no inti example and say obi a say obi a one nya there's punishment and two you can be removed betumi you edi afi adwumanim who say we leadership by example omampani e de nhyebi amaye ohwe obi anim a as obi a ye sharp wakase wa wan ko declare assets ye be fine wa na say ye be sanction wa na ye be you afi eno ye baako de tosumienu state owned enterprises said they siga ene wa organize forum media man obi a responsibility say state owned enterprises into inform honto aban so when you are an income generating entity or your company will be to me enye sika now the whole to aban so na de bia open government subvention now pay government bailout or say dey na NCBO na say in a year's time you better will be a performance agreement ya mo be a performance agreement say o budget ni sika say wo de ye adwumani o ye mane bro so ana wo boka ana say eka losses eba
yankopie mu asante mante mahin kwase do ejabrantani atoho anapeya ama eye ejadibia ho no nyoma seye papa eno no enam so ama eye asante mante mu swafo Dr. Frank Amwakohene akakopie mu ewo akakoshe sania nyoma esifa ahye ewo eye empotemu ho
Please. Hello, hey, mucho.
Swa ejinemu ewo kumase edum ye enkofo no omuwo ho eyewitness refokase mu no no wo ho no ma ohun se de eja no starte ye ekosi se eniema nyina ehye dwerebe ensem sei na wo kire mu faaye
na ye serious ye serious papa in the last years we kumase me almost eja bi say and talk kumase and stretch like and spread it say that na esase wo kejeti a Dubai gate na no ho no kejeti a Dubai market ni dey save na stores na won chen no esase wo ho no na stretch ko a friend is saying Roman Hill ho no stretch ko Roman Hill ho asat ekobo 10 nyina no muntimi ndumuja no still na edasu giremu ha according to information no say come bad for need to ababa stores any spray for stores no e call ho no na ma de ne ye west ama say still na fire service for no crown no they are overhelmed as say no omo hunu di omo yo serious and Kejetia market, central market now under construction and somehow affected. Charlie, serious. It's all baby action, stretch now a Roman Hill. Ujina, two foreign about one stretch a Roman Hill. And now the Jano so Kejetia Masalachi side. Also na still na hono crown and you totally off. Charlie, really, I just say, so can see a bit to say to me, and the bits may do completely. But fire service for now and Casadi, they overwhelmed as a young man. I ajo mo nse
hello Dyer de jami ja kano hello Dyer
Era so jirebu wa santimantam no a ehu na sania ejamrantani ebaye no na enam suma ejedufo ahyere woniema na sika wojo ni jetire a wode hye mu ni nyina asese de befasa akonye so na yama ejedufo ni nyina ya akọ esanse mu omre ewu orem ade a entweye kura we enam so ama eye Dr. Frank amwakohene ebo modin pusa eye Ghana Mampany's Excellent Dramani Mahama ahomem eno penino etia ne nemu be mu ewo ho ogira na nentu so na nensema odi tu ejein na ene se wobra aya santimante mu sofo eton safre no wa santimante mu a wo ye eye meeting bi se ne ebebo manyoma bi akoyie ene nti no wie ya wantena eye ehye mu amfa eye nkrampomponi mante mu kwan ene osanso san ne chiba eye bebi a eja no atose ono wan kasa de nani kochu amansen ba be hwanye esi ewo edum eye jakase no emu ena afa miami ahodo bi akeka weja na tomu elitopedi no ahye jedifo no ebose wo be hye no ne eye Dr. Mako hene ani mpenufo bi esinkunja no wona hye emwa obetumi di aboa na mmom na hu behia se sane eye dumjafo ne ba ho no wonya beebi a obefa na wode eye nsuo akwakodum eja no da foforo si yesi eye jedibia ye mmomode se wode kwan ahodo bi betotutututu beebi sane ebeboa ma atoranchen bi sei esia eye edumjafo no betumi anya beebi afa akwakodum ja no edi ama ye ntinsem a openido edi tu eja
asantememu se yebeye dwumadie bi ewo ankawie a eye Tree for Life initiative na mebesi ye no na regional minister eka atorenchen bi a esi ewo edum ha nti sese a na ewie sa dwumadie no na mese mintu anamon embehwe na esi na ampanso eya reho efise wo hwe enyoma asai ene enkofo stores a ahye na eyade a eyo hawiye enti nedikan meda fire service for ase ene modern bo amoye ya omo etimi abre eja no ano ase na yewie ano a na yahwe na ema ni si enso ade baako a fire for aka kire me ne se ombedru ye no sen na ombetimi awuremu etimi akodum gya no eno ya ade baako a eha omuye na ohwe a yedwam bebre saa netie enti eja tomu a sen na fire for betimi edru ho etimi edum gya nentem no na abeye ohaw ama omo enti osi ye di wesu anyansa na yehwe yedwa no da ye planning ni ye sen na beya bibi kosi a na etimi aso anu ntem
Nyina ensem ya atorenkyerem ya atu kumaseman no niema omo yakọ eya na eya se obepeje dru ba bi na oniema twinkle of an eye na oniema eja tom na ahye ye ma wonu mu nyina ahye den wo mo niema se nyina mesremo emu oya de na so eya na mo de ntoma abomoyem san pepepe arunti ye begina sansem yi so ne di enwumre ne nsia kase ne nyina aba na wie ye me pa otwe onyame ya adoma biribia ye betena fidi kase so ye ka kire wo se asole de ya na ye oni ya wo be kanfo asole ama na chese oye onipa wo dobo efiri na koma mu pa arunti na biribia ye nya kwanya betena fidi kase so a ye bo Apam Global Outreach asafo hu dawuru ede ma wo no nyame ya adoma Sunday ye first service no eshas 7 7 pepepe on a dot na ya hwedwumadi na se hwe osom na se na ya pon 9 9 o'clock no na ye de 9:30 ye de second service no so ataimu den pa gidigidia enye fedi agro 11:30 mesra no ya pon na otimi akofie na akoye ne wuyi bia ebia na wo pese wo babi nanso wo achire pa obetima frem penifo e wo 02496699 9930249669993 na onimpanifo edi nkomo no ma kyerɛkyerɛ wo kwan a ubetimi aba ubetimi ede ababe piemu ewo ye Apam Global Outreach Asafo production team ni nyina shout out emfa enkoma wo mo Asanti Broni ba kopɛ shout out enko emfa ma wo meda obia wonya wo fi ahwem no osusu nyankopɔn ehwao ye di kase mu chiami edi amejeso eye keche nua nana ya Sikapa mene
nana ama Fordjour
ye dewase ya crown